Hello and welcome to another update video about Bitcoin. Bitcoin's daily chart remains unchanged, so very consistent with previous updates over the last few days, weeks, and actually months. Bitcoin remains in a fifth wave to the upside. Actually, within the fifth wave, we're in a fifth wave which started down here. So the larger degree, wave 5, started in August, 5th of August, and has already completed waves 1, 2, 3, likely wave 4, and we could now be in wave 5. That's the current idea here on the larger time frame, and it should take us still to around about 130k. That would be ideal. Bitcoin so far has remained range bound, largely range bound, since the beginning of December, and with some up and down movement, but nothing groundbreaking. You might remember it when we entered the range that I mentioned. It is very much possible that Bitcoin remains in this range for a while. A few days above 100k, a few days below 100k, and the market may stay in this kind of, let's say, pattern of uncertainty for a bit. We had a new all-time high very recently, but not really a sustained break above. So overall, the price, however, could have started wave 5 already. That's the idea on the 13th of January. And the price also broke above this yellow trend line, is currently holding above it. That's definitely something we're observing. And yeah, ideally, the C wave to the upside is unfolding towards 130k, but we need a little bit more evidence. For example, a break above these previous swing highs, including the 108 to 109k range. So we'll talk about that on the smaller time frame, but bigger picture wise, it shows us and reminds us that we are quite close to a long-term top, most likely. But we talked about that extensively, but I use normally like the first video on the day for reminding everybody, but also to make sure that also new viewers are up to date, and we're all on the same page here. So what I cannot rule out as an alternative scenario is that this fourth wave is still unfolding, which would be less than ideal, but it's possible. But for now, not expected. So let's take a look at the short-term chart for Bitcoin. Here, we're dealing with a bullish structure. And there are a couple of scenarios which are bullish that we're tracking, which allow for direct upside. Condition is that certain support levels are holding. And the current idea is, the current main thesis, our working assumption, is that this fourth wave, I just showed it to you on the daily chart, that this fourth wave actually bottomed on the 13th of January. From that low, we saw a 5-wave move up, which I've labeled in the yellow count wave 1, in the white count wave A. This here is seen as a corrective pullback, which could be either wave 2 in yellow or wave B in white. And the idea is that this bullish assumption, directly bullish assumption, is valid and likely and preferred. That means, we're basing it on the thesis that a larger degree fourth wave bottomed on the 13th of January. That is the idea, as long as the price holds above 92,665. So pretty much here that 78.6 retracement. That's very important, this level, because any sustained break below that level will indicate there is additional weakness and the market is retracing more than would be ideal. Now, looking at this structure then, we can say, okay, that's the base case, but do we really need another low? Is this wave 2 in yellow still unfolding, or could we have struck a low? I mean, in the end, if you look at the daily chart, you see it a bit better there. The price is currently holding above that trend line, retested that trend line from above. And could we be in a breakout already? It's just not very evident yet. Now, first of all, please note that today is the Fed interest rate decision, so we might see very muted price action until there is an outcome. But I think, on days like these, probabilities are quite clear. There's probably not going to be any interest rate change. So most of it is priced in, so there might not be any surprises, but still there could be some volatility. And Yeah, I mean, for sure, the size of that rally, the size of that bounce makes it likely a low is already in. But we can really only formally confirm it if there is a 5-wave move up, as shown in blue. So a few days ago, I showed you what pattern we need to see play out in order to confirm that really a low has formed. And that would be the blue count. So we're currently watching the blue count as long as micro support is holding, upper micro support. It could only be a diagonal, so it's not very trustworthy. So we can say wave 1, wave 2, A, B, C in wave 3, then wave 4, then wave 5. I mean, this would be an ideal scenario. And in this scenario, wave C could stretch a little higher, possibly to round about 105,390. This would be ideal, right? Yesterday, we saw the price dip into this support zone. The price reversed out of it, broke above resistance. Our signal that wave C to the upside could be unfolding. Few things to talk about here. First of all, a wider wave B is possible alternatively. So there's absolutely still the possibility that the price dips back into this support between 99,740 and 101,370. So I'll leave it on the chart for now. The microstructure in this move up from yesterday's low is a bit unclear, so I'm not labeling that. 105,390 is the next upside milestone target. It's the previous swing high from Sunday the 26th. And it's the first ideal target for Circle 3 from a Fibonacci point of view. Also, however, please pay attention to the yellow trend line. This is potentially a resistance level. So there could be some resistance there just before reaching that 138% extension. The price found support here several times and resistance a couple of times. So as long as we stay below that level, I think, the upside pressure is just not that, it would need to prove itself. We need to get above that level, okay? Because, you see, we're above that trend line and below the other one. So it's kind of caught in kind of a range. But yeah, the move to the upside is corrective, okay? It's corrective overlapping price action. So it's not clearly bullish, but it can develop into a diagonal. So I think caution is still warranted. However, it's what we're tracking, and currently the market is adhering to parameters. Most importantly, the larger support area held and the smaller support area is also holding. So we'll keep you updated. Hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Also, make sure that you follow us on Instagram and Twitter for additional content. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.